This broadcast is copywritten by the SAGU Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any other use of the broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the SAGU Sports Network consent is prohibited.
Hello and welcome to the NAIA National Game of the Week. You are watching the SAGU Sports Network. I'm Adam Ferguson, joined by my partner Tim Roberts. Tim, not only is it Senior Day, it's CSFL Championship Day.
I mean, it's amazing how it's lined up just like this with SAGU and Langston gunning for the CSFL Championship here today in Waxahachie. The stakes just could not be higher. It's an amazing day.
You're in for a good one. The Lions versus the Lions. We got to watch ourselves, and we're talking about that a little bit later. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Kristen Urban, who's got the feel of the game down there on the field. Kristen, how's it feel down there?
Thanks, Adam. It is a perfect day for football. Temperatures are looking to stay in the mid-80s. There is 0% chance of rain. The only thing we may need to worry about is this wind. It's looking to stay over 10 miles an hour throughout this entire game. Now, the stands are definitely beginning to fill up for what looks to be a great show up today, especially seeing that both teams remain undefeated in the CSFL so far. It's looking to be a big game today. That's all I have for you down here. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Kristen. Perfect weather for this game today. Again, this CSFL Championship game. Got to hammer it home. Huge game.
Like I said, you don't have a conference championship game in the CSFL, but that's what today is. You have a de facto conference championship game between two undefeated teams. Whoever wins, they can't be caught next week no matter what. So there will be a champion crowned today after 4 quarters, maybe more. Who knows?
Let's talk a little bit about what both of these teams have to do to walk away with that CSFL championship. The first for the Lions, we've seen it the last couple of weeks. They need to set up that deep bomb with some short passes. Look for them to go across the middle of the field with a couple 3 to 7 yard routes to try to get those receivers working.
Yeah, you know, we've really seen that the short routes even struggle sometimes with some of these drop passes. You need to complete those passes in order to open up the long game.
The second one is keep yourself in check. Going into last week, the Lions were one of the top schools in penalties. That's not where you want to be. In a game that is this big, a 15-yard penalty can make all the difference.
I mean, you cannot be put behind the chains. You cannot give Langston free yards. You have to keep those flags off the field.
And lastly, force a turnover early. The Lions like to come out starting the game on defense. Look for them to try to get a pick and get the momentum on their side early in their first quarter. Really, that's what they want to do if they want a chance at really kind of blowing this game out of the water.
Yeah, jump on Langston early, especially because they're such a great defense. If you can jump on them early, that could really impact the entire flow of this football game.
As always, offensive coordinator Sam Harrell always gives us a good insight into the possible or the upcoming game, and he is with our sideline reporter, Kristen Urban. Kristen, tell us what Coach has to say about this huge conference game.
Thanks, Adam. Coach Harrell, SAGU and Langston are tied for first place in CSFL standings. Today's winner will determine the sole first place spot. Langston ranks #1 in scoring defense and in pass defense efficiency. What is SAGU's offense going to have to do to combat this dominant defense?
Well, you're right. They have an outstanding team and an outstanding defense. And when you watch them on film, you understand why. They're very talented over there and good up front, some really good guys up in the front four and then their linebackers. So you can understand why their defense is so dominant. And then, of course, it's up to us to see if we can break through that a little bit. And, our kids have worked hard all week and are confident and think we can do some things. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
You're going against an undefeated team. Tell us a little bit about how you strategized in practice in preparation for today's game.
Well, we didn't talk about them being undefeated necessarily. Everybody knows they are, and everybody knows they're good, and that's why it's the conference championship, and that's why they're #8, because they're a good squad that's well coached, and so you don't dwell on that or scheme against that. You just say, hey, it's going to be a big challenge. Let's step up and see what we got.
Thanks, Coach Harrell, and good luck today. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Kristen. Coach Sam Harrell, the key to the word, we know who we are. They're undefeated in conference. Maybe they stick to what's been working all season.
I mean, why not? I mean, it's been working very well. We'll break down some numbers in a little bit, how much has been working in conference. But breaking down some keys to the game for Langston now. You heard Coach Harrell talking about that #1 Langston defense. My first key, Langston needs to be #1 for one more week. Push that #1 ranking for another week. They only give up 13.3 points per game. Meanwhile, SAGU averages 42 points a game. Something has to give there. Langston just needs to hold strong for one more week, be that defense for one more week. Second, win the second half. The last 2 weeks, Langston struggled in the second half a little bit, let some games that were in control slip. They blew a 21-0 lead against Arizona Christian, had to come down to a botched extra point to win that one 21-20. Then last week against Oklahoma Panhandle State, we're up 27-0. The Aggies made it interesting, brought it back to 27-14. It's a hot one here today, so keep that energy into the second half. If you have a lead, or especially if you're behind, you're going to have to win that second half. Last, hit your scoring average. You talk about, obviously, their great defense. Their offense is still very solid. Averages around 32 points per game. Because you know you're playing such a high-octane offense in SAGU, you need to get to that number. You haven't really got to that number the last few weeks. Need to get over 30 points today. That has to be your goal from the start. Think 5 touchdowns. Think get over 30, and you've got a very good shot of walking out here with a win.
The Langston Lions, led by second-year head coach Quentin Morgan. He's actually catching up with our sideline reporter, Kristen Urban. Kristen, how does Coach Morgan feel about this game today?
Thanks, Adam. Coach Morgan, you're undefeated overall this season. What is your strategy to avoid a loss in today's game against SAGU?
Just play full quarters. I mean, to make sure we stay disciplined and carry out our execution.
How did you prepare your team this week for today's road game against SAGU, and also undefeated CSFL team?
The same way we prepare any week. We just take one day at a time and just focus on ourselves, and then, let the chips fall where they may.
Thanks for your time, Coach Morgan. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Coach Morgan. Tim, it's starting to feel like a big game. We hear the Langston band behind us right now.
It's getting loud in here. It's getting exciting.
Let's go to the players who actually are going to execute today for each of these respective head coaches. Starting with SAGU, J.P. Lowry, Ricky Bickham. They've had a couple of slow weeks in a row. If they want to set up this passing game, one of the ways to do that, set up the short yardage passes as well as pounding the rock. And it doesn't get very much better than those two running backs. They've really been solid all season long.
They've been solid all season long. Like you said, a little bit stalled out the last 2 weeks. Need to pick it up this week. Thunder and Lightning, Bickham and Lowry.
The second one, Darnell Martin. Langston likes to do a running back by committee. A ton of guys in the triple yardage as far as yards in the season go. Darnell Martin really is going to be in charge tonight of holding down the trenches and keeping that run game in check.
We've seen SAGU win that battle up front all year long. Again, win it for one more week.
And lastly, I'm kind of cheating here a little bit, but the entire offensive line, they've got to keep Collins upright this game. Langston comes in top 5 in the nation in sacks on the season. They are going to be looking to pin their ears back and get to Collins. Huge pressure on this offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, they got to hold up strong, and that leads right into my key player of the game, one of my keys for Langston, defensive lineman Jamari Finney. He's a big reason why Langston is a top 5 sacks team. He is number 4 in the NAIA in forced fumbles per game, number 5 in tackles for loss per game, and number 6 in sacks per game. He is one of the best defensive frontmen in this NAIA. Second, running back Tim Whitfield. He's only played in the last 4 games, but he already leads this Langston team in rushing. He's averaging around 91 yards per game. Again, they're going to need that offense really clicking, and that has to start with the running game. Something that hasn't been a huge success for them this year. They may have found their guy with Whitfield. Last, quarterback Jalen Lowe. I mean, it feels cliche to say it, but the quarterback's so crucial. Whether it's him or Milton Harper, Langston really likes to mix it up a little bit. Those quarterbacks have each shared snaps this season. They need to have a good game. They need to have a better game than they have for most of the year. They only average combined, Harper and Lowe, 154 yards passing a game. I feel like you're going to need more than that today. You're going to need in the 200-yard range if you want to get to that 30-point mark I said earlier to pull off a win today. So I want to see a lot more from Jalen Lowe or Milton Harper today. That's why I have them both kind of listed. I don't know who's going to be taking the most snaps. We won't see really until the game plays out.
Both of these teams dominant in the CSFL this week, and we're seeing it. The top 2 teams going for the conference championship. Walk us through a little bit of these numbers that these teams have put up.
Again, it's no mistake that these are the top 2 teams in the conference, and it hasn't exactly been difficult for them. They've pretty much rolled through the conference. Let's look at some head-to-head comparisons here. SAGU's average win margin this year in the conference, plus 29. Langston, plus 22. The average yards margin for SAGU, plus 153. Langston, plus 98. Turnover margin, plus 11 for SAGU, plus 10 for Langston. This has been a cakewalk most weeks for these teams. They have dominated. The Lions, the king of the jungle, they've been dominating throughout the CSFL. Look at some quarter-by-quarter statistics here. Langston's amazing defense has shut out their CSFL opponents in 15 of the 24 quarters played. Not to be outdone, SAGU's very proficient offense has scored in 19 of the 24 quarters played. And I will note, Out of those 5 quarters they've been shut out, 3 were fourth quarters in which the game was either safely out of reach or in which SAGU passed up scoring opportunities in order to run out the clock late in the game. That could easily be 22 out of 24 quarters that they have scored in. So, I mean, both these teams like their defense and they like their offense, but there is no doubt this is a battle between one of the best offenses in the NAIA on the SAGU sideline and perhaps the best defense in the NAIA with Langston on the other sideline.
We are in for what hopes to be an incredible de facto CSFL championship game. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow us on all of our social media accounts. We've got Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, anything you could possibly think of. If you're already subscribed, you saw earlier today the Lady Lions volleyball team, conference championship winners with their win over USAO today. Will we see 2 SAGU teams standing atop as conference champions after this game against the Langston Lions today?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say we've probably never seen that before here at SAGU, clinching 2 conference championships the same weekend, the same day.
The same day.
The chance is there. The Lady Lions did it on the court this morning, and now SAGU has a chance to do it in what is quite simply the biggest game in SAGU football history. We've been saying it all week long. It's just true. This is the biggest game in SAGU football history.
What do you say?
Again, congratulations to Coach Moore and the Lady Lions volleyball team for a well-fought season and a conference championship as a result. We're going to throw you down to the sideline for the coin toss, the opening prayer, and, of course, the national anthem. Don't go anywhere. NAIA National Game of the Week coming your way right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
SAGU won the toss. They deferred. Langston will receive.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask everyone to please stand, remove your hat, and join us in the invocation to be given by Dr. Paul Brooks, Vice President of Academics.
Father, we thank you for the day, the special gift that you have given to us. We pray that you will bless all the fans and players and families and friends that have come on this occasion. Help them to play to their best and save them from injury as they participate in a good spirit of competition. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
And now, please remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America, performed by SAGU student Riker Russell.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ringing, the bombs bursting in, and keep proof through the land that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ball to start the game.
We were talking, I don't know how SAGU keeps winning these coin tosses. They may legitimately be 9-0 in coin tosses this year. I don't know how big of an impact that plays in winning all these games, but they just keep winning coin tosses, and as usual, they will defer. They're going to rely on their defense to try to get a stop early on.
To kick for the Lions is Talang Hamung, who, of course, this past week was featured in an article on sagu.edu. Tim, tell us a little bit about it.
Amazing article detailing his life story, his journey to America out of persecution. Just an amazing life story for this kid. Comes to America, I believe, at the age of 13, has never seen a football in his life, and now here he is having an amazing season for the Lions. Be sure and check out that story on the SAGU Sports Network Facebook page or on sagu.edu. TH about to kick it off, get it started here. The CSFL Championship game. Lions versus Lions. Here we go.
The kick is up. It's a low line drive. It's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line, and out comes Langston, looking to bounce it out to the left, and he's got room in front of him, and he's going to take it past the 40, down past the 50, finally brought down in SAGU territory. Great return to start the game.
Cedric Jackson is going to catch the kind of line drive kick at the 5. Usually you see TH put those out of the back of the end zone. They'll be trying to do that all the rest of the game. He takes that one, well, really around 48, 49 yards up to the SAGU 46. So great start for Langston, handing their offense great field position to start this game out.
And in at quarterback for the Langston Lions is Milton Harper. So we talked about possibly they're going to play the hot hand quarterback. They must feel that Milton Harper had the hot hand or a good practice week here for Langston.
And that he will come out, and again, looking at a short field, start out.
He is in the shotgun. Man in the backfield. Takes a snap. He's going to hand it off. And he's going to get a good amount of yardage here on first down. Call it about 4 for Langston to start the game. A good carry.
Solid carry right up front. Again, they want to win that battle up front early on. And they get a gain of 4 to set up 2nd and 6.
Harper hands it off again, looking to bounce it up inside. He gets stopped by Matt Leiter and company, and the Lions have a 3rd and about 6 here.
Matt Leiter had an on and off week. Not even sure if he would play in this game, but he is out there today, and he makes a big stop early on, brings up a 3rd and 6 at the SAGU 42-yard line.
Tyree Hansen checks into the game at running back, as Harper is still in at quarterback. 3rd and 6. The Lions defense has been good all season long. Can they come up with a stop here on 3rd down? Harper takes the snap, he's back to pass. Immediate pressure from Coleman, completes the pass, but is brought down by Kobe Roach, and the Lions defense holds them on 3rd down.
Juggling catch by Tyree Hansen. Gonna set up an interesting 4th down situation here. Milton Harper was slow getting up as the pressure comes in. Hard hit. Great job by Tyree Hansen to hang on to that pass, as it will bring up now a 4th and about 5. So interesting situation. It's good to see Milton Harper get off the field in his own power, but Langston will punt. And so a drive that began at SAGU's 46, at least at the moment, barring some sort of interesting fake early on here, as Langston will line up 4 men to the left. Interesting punt formation for the Langston Lions. Jalen Lowe will be back to punt.
This is a situation you want to see, maybe a fake. He's going to roll out. He is going to fake it. Can the Lions step up and stop him? They do. They force the turnover on downs. Jalen Rowe comes in at the punter position and decides to roll out and try to run for it, and the Lions sniff it out and stop it.
I think they saw that coming. They saw this fake punt coming, and he's going to run into his own man. It looked like the pressure was coming in from the right side by Bryce Bailey. That was going to make it tough for him to get the 1st down anyways, but Jalen Lowe runs into his own man at the 41, stumbles to the 40, and so a big stop on defense and special teams for the SAGU defense, and they give the offense the ball at their own 40-yard line. Solid field position for CJ and crew.
CJ takes the snap, bobbles it, but he's rolling out to his right, looking for Justin Allen. Finds Allen for a gain of about 3 on 1st down. Call it 4 down to the 44-yard line.
They've had some trouble with that rollout pattern. Looks like he kind of bobbles the ball on the snap, able to just kind of get it off to Allen. Gain of 3. They're going to give him 3 yards up to 2nd and 7 at the SAGU 43-yard line.
J.P. Lowry in the game for SAGU. Again, we'll see a tandem running back duo between J.P. Lowry and Ricky Bickham. Collins says Allen in motion again, now rolling out to his left, throwing it to Allen again. And Justin Allen has himself another catch. This one for 3 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 4.
We've seen this strategy the last few weeks with SAGU, coming out with kind of the same formation, same play a couple times in a row. Very interesting early on to see them go to Allen twice. It brings up a 3rd and 4 at the 46-yard line. Big 3rd down situation now for SAGU.
Collins looking to the sideline, getting his play here. Plenty of time on the play clock. He's got less than 20. Here is Collins. Lowry to his right. Sends Shelby in motion. Collins back to pass. Has to roll out to his right, looking for Lowry in the flat, and overthrows him. Lowry was open. It looked like he could have had 1st down yardage.
Looks like this ball is going to get tipped by Tyler Best, number 43 on the line. You see here as CJ's looking, going to try to read Lowry, and yeah, Tyler Best is going to get a hand on it and knock it just wide, and so pass falls incomplete, and SAGU will now punt. 11:40 remaining here in the 1st quarter, so 2 3-and-outs for the 2 offenses to start this game out. Both offenses starting with solid field position to start each drive, but the defenses hold up strong.
Here is Maverick Montiel rolling out in rugby-style punt. It's going to be I thought it was going to be field. He steps away from it, and it rolls into the end zone. It bounced just inside the 10-yard line and takes a very favorable Langston bounce, and they're going to end up with a touchback.
Yeah, just a little bit too much leg on. Wind at his back. Maverick ends up punting that one in the end zone, so it'll be 1st down for Langston at the 20 after they started the last drive at the 46 and were unable to capitalize.
1st down and 10 Langston on the 20-yard line.
And now we see a new quarterback.
Yep. Jalen Lowe is in at quarterback. He is the punter as well, and he had the fake punt a moment to go, but we saw Milton Harper on the 1st drive, so now Lowe in.
Tyree Hansen in the backfield with him. He fakes the reverse and hands it off to Hilton. Or Hansen rather, and he gets 4.5 on the 1st down carry.
Kobe Roach plugging the hole up the middle here. Not going to let him go any further than where he was, but a solid gain of 4 yards to bring up 2nd and 6.
Jalen Lowe still in the shotgun with Hansen in the backfield. And he's going to hand it off to Hansen. Hansen looking for room up the middle, spins, but Jordan Coleman is right there. not falling for that spin move and bringing him down for a loss of 1.
Jordan Coleman has just come alive the last 3 or 4 weeks, making interceptions on the line. He can make sacks and tackles as well. Drags Hansen down for a loss of at least a yard, brings up 3rd and 7.
Hansen remains in the backfield with Lowe at quarterback. 2 split wide. 3rd and 7. Sends a man in motion. Here's the snap. He hands it off around the end. The Lions look to stretch it out, bounces it back up inside, but he's going to get wrapped up and brought down a yard shy, 2 yards shy of the first down, and the Lions again making a stop on 3rd down. The SAGU Lions making a stop on 3rd down.
Big stop again, trying to stretch the field here on the end around to the wide receiver, and SAGU just does a great job of getting everybody to that end of the field, not allowing any free space. I believe it's Barry Handy with the carry. Already early on with Langston, we've seen 2 quarterbacks and I believe at least 3 guys carrying the ball. So Langston is a very by-committee team, unable to find a first down thus far, though. 4th and 2, and I can't imagine this is another fake situation.
Here is Jalen Lowe, the quarterback slash punter for Langston. He is going to get this one off. It is a punt that's going to go off the side of his foot and takes a SAGU bounce down out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. They're going to spot it at. So the Lions, the SAGU Lions rather, now have very favorable field position.
Yeah, up at there, marking at the 46. So SAGU took over at their own 30 to start their first drive, and now up at the 46. Need to go ahead and take advantage of one of these, as Lowe was having to punt into the wind on that one, and only ends up netting 34 yards on that punt, as the punt probably bounced at the 40, and that's when those bounces can kill you. If that bounce could have rolled the right way, it goes down to the 30, 25-yard line, you're great. Instead, the bounce goes against you, and SAGU has good field position early on.
Here is Collins. Collins sends Allen in motion, goes back the other way, rolling out now. And he's got a man deep down the field in Allen, but he doesn't see him, and he throws it away. Justin Allen was wide open down the middle of the field, and Collins just didn't see him.
He couldn't see him. I don't think he ever really had the opportunity to set his feet to throw that deep of a pass. Instead, just has to throw it away. Interesting early on here, 4 plays for the Lions, for the SAGU Lions, and no carries thus far for Lowry or Bickham. 4 passes, all kind of looking for those underneath passes that you mentioned in pregame, maybe trying to set up the deep passes. But I'm surprised we haven't seen a run so far, especially since you haven't really seen any success early on in this passing game.
Here is Collins. J.P. Lowry in the backfield sends Sam Northey in motion now. Collins back to pass. Not rolling out this time, and he finds Zach Johnson. Zach Johnson gets the first down and more on 2nd down, picking up 17 on that pass for Collins.
This is just CJ looking through his progressions, looking to the right, looks to the left, sees that Johnson's going to get wide open and nails him on a perfect pass. Gets down to the 34-yard line of Langston. And there the passing works. There those underneath routes work a little bit. Langston maybe look like they kind of crash on some of these underneath routes here with Northey going in motion. Instead, CJ picks his man up in the mid-range passing down situation.
Collins to hand it off. The first carry for the game for J.P. Lowry, and Lowry gets stood up and brought down for no gain on his first carry of the day.
Yeah, he's going to get his feet wrapped up almost immediately. And J.P. Lowry, he can break through arm tackles, but it's very hard to break through any sort of leg tackles like that. Solid tackling job by Langston. They get the immediate push up front and then just gang tackle Lowry. And he took a hard hit when he was stood up there at the 34.
2nd and 10 now. Collins with Lowry still in the game. 2 out wide to his left, and Dotson and Allen. Sends Allen in motion. He's going to cut back out to the outside. Collins now rolling to his left. Looking deep for Dotson, back shoulder pass, and it's brought in by Brian Dotson inside the 20. The SAGU Lions are in the red zone, but a flag on the play.
And this might negate an otherwise beautiful passing catch.
Offense, number 61, 10 yards, replay, 2nd down.
They're going to get Dane Macklin, the center, on a hold, and this is what we talked about pregame. Don't shoot yourselves in the foot with penalties.
And this is going to erase again a beautiful pass. Great way getting back to the ball. And you're about to have 1st and 10 down at the 12. Instead, you're looking at 2nd and 20 at the 44. That is a tough penalty to take when your drive is just starting to get a little bit of momentum. Now you got a little bit of work to do to get back into a makeable 3rd down situation.
Here is C.J. Collins. Sends Allen in motion. Gonna go back the other way. Collins gonna roll out, but hand it off to J.P. Lowry. Great misdirection. Lowry throws a stiff arm and gets it back down to the 30 to make it 3rd and 6.
We have another flag, though, back at the 50.
Holding. Offense, number 77. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still 2nd down.
Devin Petty, the going into the season, the all-conference left tackle, gets called for holding.
And he's gonna the guy's going to the ground. That's one of those tough ones if you're an offensive lineman where you win your assignment, but because you win it by enough, that looks like you're holding. Guy goes to the ground, now 2nd and 30. Lions back at where this drive started, their own 46. Back-to-back huge plays, erased by holding calls.
I know Devin Petty, and Devin would call that a pancake. 2nd and 30 now for C.J. Collins in this offense. Collins going to fake the handoff and roll out to his right. And he finds Blaine Rowe. Blaine Rowe hauls it in and brings up a 3rd and 13, making it a little bit more manageable.
That's a big pass and catch to at least set up a possibility. C.J. rolling out to his right, going Blaine Rowe's way the whole way. He does a good job getting enough separation and just is able to corral it in. And yeah, it is going to be
3rd and about 15.
3rd and about 15 yards, at least makeable. You've got 15 of it back. At least you have a possibility now. Obviously, well out of field goal range. Really, you would need a 1st down to get into makeable field goal range anyway. So you just got to be thinking 1st down here. Nothing underneath.
Collins takes a snap, fakes it to Lowry. Back to pass. Deep drop, looking deep. There's going to be a flag on the play, and it could look like the SAGU Lions may pick up a defensive penalty here.
We're going to have a holding call on Langston now.
Holding. Defense, number 25. That's a 10-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
And a devastating automatic 1st down. So after SAGU collects 2 holding penalties to erase 2 huge offensive plays, Langston gets the big stop on 3rd down, but the hold occurred pretty much off the line immediately. It's being held. And so SAGU picks up a 1st down to the 29-yard line.
Eric Cormier gets caught on that hold on Bryant Dotson. Collins now comes out with 4 wide with Lowry in the backfield looking to spread the field. Here's Northey in motion. Collins fakes the handoff. He's back to pass. And he's going to get brought down. The pocket just collapses on C.J. Collins. And there we see that Langston pass rush.
Yeah, and this really is just a forcing the offensive lineman almost to sack Collins himself, getting that push up front. It's hard to even see who's going to get credit for this sack when he's going to get knocked down. The hand was laid on him by Tyler Best, so Tyler Best is probably going to get credit for that sack. He had a tipped pass at the line already, and now he throws SAGU for a 10-yard loss, 2nd and 20. Back at the 39-yard line.
Collins now with 3 out wide to his left, kind of bunched up here. He sends Dotson in motion. Collins is going to step back and pass again. He's going to try to step up and take off with it. C.J. Collins is down past the 20. He's going to get inside the 20 and pick up 1st down yardage, and then lowers his shoulder for the 1st down. C.J. Collins.
Injury. Timeout.
That is not the kind of thing you see C.J. Collins usually do, but you know what? When you're in a championship game, you have to pull out all the stops. C.J., he sees the opportunity. He sees immediately the grass in front of him, knows he has a chance to pick up some yards.
Injury.
Does a good job getting to the outside, fighting his way down to the 14-yard line. That is a gain of 25 yards.
C.J. Collins looking a little bit like the former number 10 quarterback for the Lions, Reed Golson.
Like I said, that is not exactly something you expect C.J. to do, but he pulls it down and picks up a 1st down on 2nd and 20, and the Lions are inside the red zone.
Collins, we saw Devo McNeil go out with an injury on that play. Collins sends Roderick Brown in motion. He's going to hand it off to Lowry, and Lowry escapes an arm tackle, throws a stiff arm, but there is a swarm of Langston Lions there to clean up that tackle and bring him down for a loss of 2.
Yeah, going to get home for a 2-yard loss. Does a good job shedding the initial arm tackles, but then once he got to the corner, there was nothing but white shirts in front of him. He's looking for that hole, and Langston's corners and DBs do a great job of immediately getting off their blockers, throwing JP for the 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12 at the 16-yard line. So far, SAGU having real problems getting the running game going outside of CJ's quarterback scramble.
Collins now with 3 out wide to his right. Kind of a stacked formation. He sends Justin Allen in motion. Collins now rolling out to his right. And that ball almost batted down, but brought in by Roderick Brown. He's going to get one on the play. That ball, CJ threw it right at a defender.
And more than anything, Roderick Brown prevents an interception. This is very dangerous. Looks like he's trying to get it to Allen, and it's just going to get batted at 13. That is a loose ball. Anybody's chance to get it. And Roderick Brown gets on it, so it's a gain of 1, but bigger for SAGU. It avoids a potential turnover. I believe it's going to be Eugene Fuller who got his hand on it. So we've seen 2 batted passes by Langston so far. And that one, Allen was open at around the 9-yard line, so that could have been a first down or a touchdown situation had CJ been able to lay that in there. But great batted pass by Fuller.
Collins down the shotgun. He's going to use a shovel pass here to Donovan John, but the Langston Lions sniff that one out, and it's going to be 4th down. And on comes the kicking unit in Tulung Hamung.
Yeah, I just don't think they got the push up front they needed for this play to be executed. The blockers were downfield, but they didn't get them up front. Had they been able to spring them, he might have been able to go for a first down. And now TH comes out. He's been about as reliable as you could ask all year long. He's going to be trying a 29-yard field goal here.
Hamung takes his steps. Balboa, the holder. The snap is up, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. Tulung Hamung with the first points of the game for the SAGU Lions, giving them a 3-0 lead with about 3:40 left to go here in quarter number 1.
And that was a very odd drive for both teams. For SAGU, you shoot yourself in the foot twice on 2 holding penalties, then you get it back on a holding penalty against Langston. You get a sack, then you get a big run by CJ. Never a whole lot of momentum gained by the offense. So I think it's one of those drives you're happy to come away with the field goal because there were multiple situations where that drive could have stalled out. Obviously, this SAGU offense is very used to getting touchdowns once they get inside the red zone. Unable to get one there, but they do strike first, getting that field goal from TH and lead 3-0 here early on.
More importantly, that was a long drive. It gave the defense a chance to rest. Not that they've been on the field a whole lot, forcing 2 3-and-outs, but the SAGU defense has as fresh of legs as you could have right now as they come on the field after a long drive.
Definitely as fresh of legs as you can imagine when you're about to face your 3rd offensive drive in the first quarter. Typically, if you're facing a 3rd offensive drive in the first quarter, it means you might be getting a little bit of fatigue. And as I said, the weather's warmer here today than you'd usually expect, possibly record-setting here in the DFW area for early November. We broke some records earlier.
Last week it was 50.
50 degrees, and we were dying up here. And this week it feels like it's mid-August all over again almost. That's Texas for you as that kick goes into the end zone. Out to the 25. Yeah, SAGU back-to-back weeks. They played a chilly one up in OPSU, and then a chilly one here in Waxahachie, and then they don't have to go anywhere, and the temperature's back in the 80s.
They had to pack up the long sleeves and come out here in short ones.
That's when those 2-a-days in July and August, those come back to you. That's when training in Texas can really help you. When November comes around and it feels warmer than you could ever imagine it being, with Thanksgiving being just around the corner.
Milton Harper back in at quarterback. We've seen this. We haven't seen this formation yet. 3 out wide to his left.
Something new almost every play with Langston early on.
Harper takes a snap. He's back to pass. He's going to throw a quick little bubble screen. Morgan gets his legs taken out from underneath him, and the Lions and Kobe Roach steps up to make the tackle. But a good first down play for Langston. They get 8.
And Langston still looking for their first down of the game. Just kind of trying to find some footing right here, and they do it on the bubble screen. Could have been a little bit of an early block up top. You'll see those flagged around half the time. So it says, I guess it's always worth going for it.
Harper hands it off to his man, and he's looking for some running room, but Elijah Pruitt stepping up, had his ankle, and breaking free is Cedric Jackson, and Jackson is able to sneak his way past the tackles and get a first down for Langston.
That's a big broken tackle because he was going to get brought down probably for about a yard or 2 loss, going to bring up a 3rd and 4 or 5. Instead, he gets out of this leg tackle, and he looks completely wrapped up. It's not usually being able to pull out a Pruitt like that. Gets up to the 46-yard line and a first down for Langston.
Elijah Pruitt, one of the seniors honored today before the game. Hilton out the pass again. Another quick bubble screen. And here is Jackson. Jackson loses his feet as Malik Golden was in pursuit, but that's going to be another good offense or good first down play this drive. 7 yards.
Yeah, you want to get, if you can set up that situation here, and again, just perfect bubble screen, That time the guys wait and lay their blocks perfectly, and if he doesn't lose his footing, that's a first down for sure. But yeah, you want to set up the situation now. You got 2 plays to get 3 yards.
3 out wide to his left. Harper hands it off to Whitfield. Whitfield looking to bounce it outside and cut it up, and he's going to get brought down about half a yard shy of a first down, bringing up another 3rd down where the SAGU's Lions defense has been very good today.
Yeah, done a good job. And both of them have been third in, short or mid situations. Haven't really had a 3rd and long to contend with yet. That's usually your bread and butter as a defense. That's the easy 3rd down stop. Not these, though.
Kobe Roach stepping up and making another tackle. He's been all over the field today from the safety position, playing like a linebacker. And in fact, they do have him filling in at linebacker this play. 3rd and short, Harper is going to hand it off to Whitfield. Whitfield looking for some room, and he's going to fall forward as he squeezes through the blocks, and that's going to give Langston another first down. And this is the first good drive we've seen Langston put together today.
Yeah, getting down to the 41-yard line. That's one of those situations where you get hit up front and your offensive line just kind of helps you carry your momentum forward. Easy first down, and now this is where SAGU has done a good job all year long, is once they get inside the 50, 45-yard line, buckling down and making the big stops. Let's see how they respond going against the number 8 team in the nation.
Harper hands it off again, and he cuts it up the middle. A helmet goes flying, hits the official in the head, it looks like. Good carry that time by newly entered running back Cody Phillips.
And he's just going to have to get help. He'll have to leave the field. So a quick play, only picks up 7 yards, though. It felt like it moved quicker than that, but only gets 7 as he gets blasted in the middle of the field down to the 33, 34-yard line.
Less than a minute to play here in quarter number 1. Harper sends a man in motion. He's going to toss it to him. That's going to count as a pass. Leiter looked to stretch the play out, but he gets brought down quickly.
And this is going to be a hold on Langston. This is going to come in against, I believe, Jay Hura.
Holding. Offense, number 79, 10 yards, replay, 2nd down.
Yeah, Jay Hura just mauling his guy up front, and that's always the unfortunate one when you hold and you don't even spring the guy for a run. So that's going to throw Langston for 10-yard loss, bring up 2nd and 13 back at the 44. You'll see it here happening pretty clearly there at the top of your screen. So some big, crucial penalties early on here. SAGU was able to overcome both of theirs thanks to one Langston penalty. Honestly, that's all that will help SAGU overcome their 2 penalties. Now let's see if Langston can get out of this hole.
2nd and 13. Cody Phillips back in the game after losing his helmet the play before. Harper takes a snap. He's back to pass. Dumps it out wide to Phillips. Brought down quickly by Landon Jones. The phenomenal linebacker for the Lions broke on the ball and laid a huge hit on Phillips.
Phillips' helmet's going to come off again, and this time it's going to roll around 8 yards, well past the SAGU sideline. What a monstrous hit. So Phillips will have to check out again. Bring up a 3rd and 13. As that one, it really looked like Harper just hung the ball in the air for too long. If he had got that in there fast enough for Cody Phillips, he'd have been able to make something happen with it. Instead, he had to wait for way too long, and he just hung him out to dry.
3rd and 16 as the final seconds tick away here in quarter number 1. Will they get a playoff? They will at the buzzer in quarter number 1. He's going to throw a screen out to his man Jackson. Brought down by Aiden Estrada. Beautiful open field tackling for the Lions linebackers.
Of the first quarter.
Huge stop on 3rd down.
Back-to-back dump-off situations. And again, we're going to see here, the ball is just going to stay in the air for way too long. If he zips that in, it's not going to be a first down, I don't think, but he's going to be able to pick up some yardage, give Langston a better punting situation. Not that being at your own 48 is, punting's not the issue here, but doesn't zip that one in either. Just gives the Lions of SAGU way too much time to respond. And that holding penalty now looms large. You look at the situation here, we've said it 100 times, but there it is. Both teams at 6-0. They've handled everyone with somewhat ease. Really, both teams have only had one game that came down to 1 score or fewer. Langston with a 1-point win over Arizona Christian, and SAGU with an 8-point win over Oklahoma Panhandle State. And there they sit at 6-0, the number 16 SAGU Lions, and there's the number top 25 situation. SAGU, that 16 spot. Again, the top 16 teams go to the playoffs pretty much, so that's a good place to be if you're SAGU. You go a lot higher if you can win this one today.
4th and 21 as low as on the punt. He gets the punt off. It's a high punt. Northey is going to let it bounce, and a smart decision as it goes into the end zone. Good looking punt there by the quarterback, Jalen Lowe.
Yeah, lays in a very nice punt. Another situation kind of like we saw with Maverick early on. If that one gets a good bounce, you're pinning SAGU inside the own 10. SAGU does catch a break as it bounces into their own end zone, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line with a 3-point lead and a huge defensive stand after Langston had gotten inside the SAGU 40-yard line. A penalty and then back-to-back massive defensive stops gives their offense the ball back starting at the 20-yard line. Worst starting field position of the game. They started at their own 40 and 46, so they have a little bit of work to do compared to the last two drives.
Collins sends Justin Allen in motion. He's going to fake the handoff. He's back to pass. Looking for Blaine Rowe, and Rowe can't haul it in. It was broken up by defensive back Jeffrey Reed, who broke on the ball and caused the incompletion.
Yeah, Reed does a good job of staying right with him, staying with his man the whole way, goes over the top and just breaks up any chance. The ball is there. It's probably going to be a catch up to the 35-yard line. Instead, he breaks it up and brings up 2nd and 10.
Derek Shelby checks into the game for the SAGU Lions.
Appears Ricky Bickham is now in at running back.
The spark plug of the offense, Ricky Bickham.
Lowry struggled early on, so sometimes what you need, if the first guy struggles, get the second guy in there, see if you can loosen up the defense, make some plays, and then set it up later on for the other guy.
Collins in shotgun. He's going to roll out to his left and hand it back on the reverse to Bickham. Bickham runs into Zach Irwin and can't cut it upfield. Looked like he had room to bounce it outside to his left, but tried to cut it back inside. It's only going to be a 2-yard gain, maybe 3.
Langston's winning these battles up front right now as the blockers are there downfield. If Bickham gets through that, that's an easy first down and more. But they've been doing a good job of winning those initial up front battles. SAGU's winning downfield. They're winning downfield and setting up the possibility for a big play.
3rd and long, 3rd and 8 to be exact. Collins still in the shotgun with Bickham to his right. Collins going to step back and pass and look deep for the curl route to Dotson and can't complete it.
So a 3 and out for SAGU. Only get 2 yards on that, and again, it's 2 very contested passes on this drive. The ball is there, and again, another great defensive play, and so SAGU will go 3 and out and have to punt. Now they're only at their own 22, 23-yard line, punting into the wind, so a chance for Langston to get a big flip on field position here, depending on what happens on this punt.
Montiel into punt. He gets it rolling out. The rugby-style kick is going to bounce about the 50-yard line, and that is about as good as a job as you would want if you're the SAGU Lions. It rolls all the way down to the 40, and that's where Langston will take over.
Yeah, that's going to net you, well, right around 38, almost 40 yards. So about all you can ask with that stiff wind in your face to keep Langston on their end of the field back around the 40. They've started at SAGU's 46 in this game and haven't been able to score, so give your defense a little bit of breathing room.
Here comes Jalen Lowe now in at quarterback. It looks like they're going to switch every other drive.
Top 25 update for you there. Campbellsville, number 21, leading in that one.
Lowe going to take it himself around that right side, and he's going to cut it up and get, let's call it about 5 yards on 1st down. Haven't seen much of a passing attack here today for Langston. The passes that they have had have been dump-offs or screens.
Yeah, Matt Williams is going to make the tackle there to keep that from going any further. And again, a huge variety of plays for Langston so far. We've seen end arounds, seen quarterback keepers. They're trying to mix it up. And early on, when you're struggling with this on offense, it's just kind of almost a thought of, well, let's find something that works.
Here is Lowe. Lowe sends Jackson in motion. He's not going to hand it off. He's going to look for some running room here. Stumbled a little bit, going to get pushed out of bounds, or trailed out of bounds rather, by Coleman. He's actually going to lose a yard, making it 3rd and 6.
And I don't think that's a designed quarterback run. I think it's an option situation where both running backs were read way too well. There's nobody open, so he's just going to try to limit the damage there and only going to lose 1 on the run. It sets up, like I said, a 3rd and 6. So another big 3rd down here early on in the 2nd quarter.
Here is Lowe, 3rd and 6. 3 out wide to his right, 1 to his left. Lowe taking the snap. He's going to step back and pass, look for his man, and it's picked off by Elijah Pruitt. Was looking for his man on the far side, Dalen Person, but Pruitt jumps the route.
They're ruling it incomplete. They're saying it hit the ground.
Pruitt almost comes away with an interception, and with the way the Lions sideline reacted, I thought it was a pick.
Let's check the replay here. The ball's going to be thrown. Pruitt, just amazing read on that one. One way or the other breaks it up. And it's hard to see from that angle, but it looked like with him rolling to the ground, the ball is just going to hit the ground. You'll see the better angle here. Yeah, Pruitt, quick break. And the ball is going to just barely touch the ground. Great catch by the ref on that one, but it's another 3 and out for Langston. Starting with good field position, they only managed 4 yards, and they will have to punt it away.
Low, another good high punt. Is going to bounce at the 3, but go into the end zone. And the SAGU Lions, back-to-back drives, going to come out on the 20.
And that's a huge break right there. When you had a situation where you flip the field position, you get a solid punt on your side, and then Langston, another great booming punt, but unable to kind of catch that bounce that they need. It rolls into the end zone. Another great stop by this SAGU defense, showing up early on. And again, they're facing a situation where the first play is what Langston wants to do. They pick up 5 yards, kind of flip the field in their situation, in their advantage. But SAGU comes up with 2 huge stops.
Here is Collins in the shotgun. He's got Lowry in the backfield with him, sends Zach Johnson in motion, and we'd see them like to do this. Hand it off. He's going to throw it. He's got Blaine Rowe wide open at the 50. Rowe brings it in. Past the 40, dragging defenders with him. Zach Johnson completes the pass to Blaine Rowe, but the ball comes free. They're going to call it a fumble, and Langston recovers the fumble down at the inside the 30.
A huge turn of events here. A big trick play dialed up by SAGU. We'll see if he was down here.
We had a fumble that was covered by Langston. First down.
Here is Rowe. You see him fighting every way, and that did look like it came out before he was down.
Tough from that angle, but from that angle, it looked like the ball did pop loose. So a huge pass play, a trick play dialed up by SAGU, dropped in perfectly. As you try to catch it here again, and the ball is coming out before he goes down, so that is a clean fumble. Langston takes over at their own 34-yard line, and they fight for a big first down gain. What a huge turn of events as SAGU dials up the trick play that we haven't seen all year long. Gonna give you a great scoring opportunity. It gets ripped out late. And now Langston with a great first play, setting up 2nd and 2 up at the 42-yard line.
Jalen Lowe with the first down carry. And here he is in the shotgun. Lowe takes the snap and hands it off. And he's going to cut it back up inside for a big gain. That is Taj Johnson. And Johnson picks up about 10.
And you definitely feel a momentum shift right here. After SAGU made the huge defensive stop, they have to get right back out on the field. That's deflating, too, when you have a play that worked to perfection. The trick play works to perfection, and you just can't get to the ground with the ball. Huge momentum shift here with around 11 and a half left in the half. Langston still looking for their first points of the game.
Lowe remains in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's going to throw the screen out wide to his left. Stepping up, Roach misses the tackle. That's going to be a good first down gain for Langston as he finds his man on that screen play.
And Langston just moving quicker on this drive. They're just moving quicker. The ball's getting out quicker. They're making their cuts quicker. That was the big problem on the last drive. The passes just weren't getting there fast enough. That time the pass gets zipped in. Gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3. They're down at the SAGU 42-yard line.
He's going to keep it himself as Lowe bouncing it around down there, and he's going to get brought down just at that first down marker. It looks like they may have given him that edge.
Yeah, look like he's going to be just shy at first, but he looks like he's going to maybe just get enough moves and fight his way forward. Looked like he was about a half yard short there, but they're going to give him that extra half yard that he needs for the first down to the SAGU 39-yard line.
And the Langston Lions, after the fumble recovery on the trick play from Zach Johnson to Blaine Rowe, are in business here in SAGU territory. Here is Lowe. 2 out wide to his left, takes the snap. He's back to pass, deep drop, stepping up to try to make the tackle, and he's going to spin away. Beautiful job by Lowe to avoid the pressure and get yardage.
He's going to evade 3 SAGU blitzers. That is going to be a sack almost any week for SAGU, but Jalen Lowe breaking loose, getting away from Matt Louder coming around the back, sheds a tackle there, spins around another tackle, and then breaks through 2 more. This is going to be a gain of 2 or 3 yards. He turns nothing into a big play. 2nd and 4 down to the SAGU 33. Amazing play by Jalen Lowe right there.
Lowe still in shotgun. He's going to throw the screen again out to his right this time, and another missed tackle by this Lions secondary, and he's going to get enough yardage for the first down.
Give credit to Langston. They're breaking through these leg tackles. It's hard to stay on your feet when you get tripped up like that. SAGU just not laying enough of a hit right here. Looks like you're going to be able to bring him down short of the first down. Instead, another first down for Langston, down to the 26-yard line.
Here is Lowe. He's got 2 stacked out to his left side. Lowe takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Johnson. Gets around Roach and bounces off a tackle on Carl Morgan, but there is Kobe Roach to finally bring him down. Another good first down play. They pick up 6.
And that's what Langston's doing right now. They're winning these first downs, not with big plays, not even picking up first downs on first down. They're picking up these 5-6-yard gains, getting exactly what they need to keep the chains in their favor. And again, it feels quicker right now. Langston just feels quicker right now than they did on the last few drives.
Lowe with Johnson in the backfield with him. After that good first down carry, makes it 2nd and 4, fakes the pass, and then gets away from Aiden Estrada, but Paul Ellis is there to lay the hit on him for a gain of 1.
Jalen Lowe again having to make some moves in the backfield. Looks like they maybe have a busted play, trying to get that screen off, unable to. Is able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, bring up 3rd and 4th, the 19-yard line. This is where it's worth noting. Langston has attempted 2 field goals all year long, so I don't think we're looking at a field goal situation here. 3rd and 4, I imagine this is a 2-down situation.
Lowe, 3rd and short, 3rd and 3, sends a man in motion, and he's going to hand it off to him around the edge. He cuts it back up inside, and he's going to get brought down at the first down marker. It looks like he's going to have enough as he handed it off to Michael Colston.
And we're seeing Langston do this time and time again. Colston's going to do just enough. Not going to break the big play, but sheds an arm tackle, sheds a waist tackle, and then just finally gets stood up. But at that point, it's too little too late for SAGU. They're down to the 16-yard line, first down. Langston just finding ways to keep this drive moving right now.
Lowe remains in at quarterback as we see Cedric Jackson check into the game. Now we got 3 receivers wide, bunched up on that right side. In motion comes Jackson. Fake handoff. He's back to pass. Looking down the middle of the field. Looks like he had a man, but he's going to roll out to his right. He's going to chased out of bounds by Landon Jones, who seemingly may have laid a hand on him as he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Lowe's going to make sure and sell that one, trying to get his personal foul. He's not going to get it. It did look like he had a man briefly, but didn't pull the trigger on it. Instead, just going to try to roll out left. And yeah, that's just that's more of a FIFA situation than an NAIA one. But you can't blame a guy. Championship game, do whatever you can to try to get a first down.
2nd and 9 now from the SAGU 15. As Lowe with 3 receivers out wide to his left. We're going to get a timeout by Coach Tristan.
SAGU.
This is a good timeout by Tristan, because this is the first down you have won on this drive. Every other first down has led to 5 or 6 yards, putting you in that situation where it's tough to stop a team like Langston for fewer than 5 yards on back-to-back plays. They feel like they're going to get it. Now that you have them kind of back behind the chains, this is where you need to make your stand. This is where you need to make your stop right here. So dial up some plays, point out the things that are going wrong on this drive right now and try to limit the damage. That, again, this all started after a amazing trick play resulted in a fumble. Otherwise, SAGU was going to have the ball down around the Langston 34-yard line, first down, up by 3. Ever since that fumble, It has been all Langston as they've been methodically pounding their way down on this drive.
How often do you see momentum shift in the same play? The Lions pull a trick play out of their hat, complete it. It's going to be in Langston territory, but then the fumble. It seems like the momentum switched in one play.
And I think it's even more devastating. If it just gets intercepted or something, that's one thing. But when there's a play, you know they've been practicing that all week, and they've been looking forward to it, and they called it, and they got excited in the huddle, and then it went wrong. That just kills you.
2nd and 9 from the 15. Lowe hands it off. No, he fakes the handoff. Running the option now, decides to pitch it to Jackson. Jackson gets hit, but he stays on his feet. Cedric Jackson gets brought down a yard shy of the first down. The Lions had that sniffed out for maybe a gain of 2, and Elijah Pruitt came up and could not complete the tackle.
SAGU having real problems completing these tackles. Jalen Lowe's going to get this pitch out in the nick of time. Barely gets it out in time. And then just a solid hit being made here, but unable to wrap them up. They can't wrap them up, and now it's a 3rd and 1 inside the 7, and definitely 4-down territory now.
Especially because they have only tried 2 field goals all season long. Jordan Coleman coming into the game gets on sides, thankfully. Lowe hands it off to Johnson. Johnson has plenty of room for the first down. It gets brought down at the 1-yard line, and Langston is going to have 1st and goal from the 1.
SAGU's defense, they just can't win these battles up front right now. And again, shedding another little tackle. It's a little weak arm tackle, but that was easy, and this is easy right there.
Taj Johnson is able to get in the end zone, dive over, and that's going to give Langston the lead here, 6-3.
And that just felt inevitable. It just feels like there's nothing SAGU could stop Langston at this point. Defense has got to get to the sideline and find some fixes after this drive just goes wrong in every single way. Langston drive went 6 minutes. They only had to go 66 yards after the fumble, but they just marched their way down, imposed their will.
Juan Carpio on to kick. The extra point is up, and it is good. He has struggled this season with the extra points, but this time he converts and makes it 7-3 Langston, and SAGU's going to get the ball back with about 5:48 left to play here in the 2nd quarter.
And they just need to chin up right now if you're SAGU. You had something really go wrong, and you had your first turnover of the game, really go wrong there. Now you're behind, and now you got to find some fixes. Have another top 25 update. Number 6 Grandview leading Benedictine 20-7. And now, again, this is also, the offense. They started the game at their own 40 and couldn't get any points. Then they started at their own 46, only get a field goal out of it. Then they have a 3 and out. Then they have a fumble. The SAGU offense really hasn't been able to find a way to consistently click. You can't rely on a trick play to really help you win in the long run in this game. So after SAGU's defense pitches a great game to start out. Those first 4 drives, SAGU's defense was working. They get knocked backwards on that one. But really, it's now, obviously the ball is in SAGU's offensive court, but even on a wider scale, the defense has done their job for most of this half outside of that one drive. SAGU's offense needs to find a way to respond now.
The kick is up from Carpio, and it's a low line drive, and Golden is going to let it bounce inside the 5 and go out of the back of the end zone, and the Lions will have field position at the 25 to start this drive.
Starting their last 3 drives at the 20, 20, and 25 after touchbacks, 2 punts, and 1 kickoff. So still looking at, long field to deal with here, which is what you expect with a strong wind like this after a touchdown. As I said, you need to find some footing. You like the fake play or the trick play to kind of help you, get something going. But for the rest of this game, you'll have to find other ways to do it. You'll have to find other solutions.
Here comes C.J. Collins with Ricky Bickham in the backfield. Bryant Dotson on to the other side of the field, joining Justin Allen. Here is Collins, takes the snap, hands it off to Bickham. Bickham looking for running room, and the Langston Lions bring him down, and SAGU continues to struggle to find running room against this Langston defense.
Yeah, right now this definitely looks like the #1 defense in the NAIA. SAGU getting no push up front. Just no room for Ricky Bickham to operate, and 2nd and 9 now at the 26-yard line.
Same formation here for Collins in this offense. 2nd and 9 from the 26. He sends Roderick Brown in motion, making 3 receivers on the right side, and a flag comes out.
Offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty, replay, Second down.
It's going to be a false start on Carter Severson, the tackle. And that's going to push SAGU back 5 yards. Not what you want if you're SAGU. An easily avoidable penalty.
Yeah, just a little bit of, I think that's what happens when you start losing up front more often. You try to get that extra, trying to beat the guy just out of the blocks. And that leads to a 5-yard penalty. Now you're in a hole, 2nd and 14.
Sends Roderick Brown in motion. 3 receivers to his left. He's back to pass, rolling out. Sets his feet, looking for Justin Allen, almost intercepted through the hands of the safety. And that would have been a huge turnover for Dennis Gafford, but it goes through his hands. And SAGU has a 3rd and 14.
Yeah, CJ just lucky on this one. As he looks like he's just going to throw it way over Allen's head. That seems to be a bad pass on CJ's part. And that could have been devastating as everything's going wrong for SAGU right now. The last thing you can have is another big turnover like that, especially deep in your own territory. 3rd and 14, and man, it feels like you really need to find something on this play.
Collins back to pass. Trying to connect on the screen pass, but he throws it at the feet of Bickham, and it didn't look like there was anything there on the 3rd down screen play.
That was more than anything just getting the ball out of CJ's hands. The blitz was coming. He had to get rid of the ball. And I think it's very evident right now that SAGU has not seen a defense like this year so far. They seem rattled right now. They're unable to get the blocks that they need. They're unable to get the receivers open. And there's going to be, they're 4:46 from the half right now. And right now it almost feels like you just kind of need to hang on. Get to that locker room with the score where it is right now and try to figure out how you're going to get past this Langston defense.
Maverick Montiel on the punt. And the Lions shift the formation a little bit, loaded on that right side. Here's Montiel. He's going to roll out to his right in a low line drive kick, and it's going to bounce at the 40, and Langston is going to have tremendous field position as it is going to be downed at the 44-yard line.
Don't know what went wrong on that one. It started from the very beginning. SAGU awkwardly, trying to stack one side maybe too much, trying to force the ball somewhere, and that kick goes nowhere. And Langston is going to take over deep in SAGU field position at the 43-yard line. The wind is definitely picked up now against Maverick, but I mean, that one, it didn't even get high enough for the wind to impact. It was just, that's where the rugby kick really goes wrong on you. And Langston with a big chance to turn this game in their favor.
Going to hand it off on the 1st down play, and another 1st down positive yardage play for Langston. Taj Johnson takes a handoff from Jalen Lowe and picks up 7.
7 yards, and like I said, every 1st down, they're just winning it right now. They are winning the battle up front on both sides, offense and defense. They are making it happen.
Here is Lowe. 2nd and short, is going to fake the handoff, and he's going to go deep, one-on-one coverage, and overthrows his man on that far side, looking for the tight end. Darrell Hill was covered by Carl Morgan, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 4 here for this Langston offense.
And I think so much of this play happened in the backfield that SAGU didn't even see the fake handoff, the play action to fall for it, and so they were still very much back in coverage. That play goes nowhere, and now a big 3rd down, 3rd and 4 at the 37-yard line. Definitely 4-down positioning, maybe not exactly 4 down for sure, but 4 down positioning for Langston right now. And SAGU needs to make a big stop here on 3rd.
SAGU making a personnel change there on 3rd down. Lowe takes the snap. He's going to hand it off and keep it himself. Cut up field. Coleman looking in pursuit. And here is Lowe looking for any kind of running room. And the SAGU Lions keep him in check this time, bringing up 4th and 9. Huge stop on 3rd down.
3rd one finally goes to SAGU. The first 2 times Jalen Lowe has been able to finally escape out, make some great things happen. This time, though, SAGU stays on him, just keeps him, keeps their eyes on him. Don't let him go anywhere. Finally wrap him up, throw him for about an 8-yard loss.
In pursuit was Marcus Rodriguez and Matt Leiter ultimately making the tackle, but Jordan Coleman, a good job this time of not over pursuing and keeping his feet and staying home.
And wrapping up. You've seen that you can't just shove Jalen Lowe to the ground. You need to wrap him up. So a big stop. High punt is going to go out of bounds. Looks to be inside the 20-yard line, maybe around the 16, 17. Mark all the way back to the 15, wow. So SAGU will take over at the 15-yard line, but a big stop by the SAGU defense, starting at their own 43-yard line. Another top 25 score update. Campbellsville has it well in control over Cumberland right now, up 52-21 as Campbellsville trying to gun for one of those final playoff spots. They need that win today for sure. So now SAGU takes back over at their 15 after a 3-and-out. Their last 3 drives have been 3-and-out, fumble, 3-and-out. And so they need to really make something happen right here. You got 3:09 left. You got 2 timeouts. Still time to go down the field, but you need to find a way to gain some yards first.
Collins says Roderick Brown in motion. Steps back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, looking out in the flat. He finds Roderick Brown. Roderick Brown tries to make a man miss, but he's going to duck out of bounds. And 9 yards on first down. And that kind of feels like what SAGU needs to do on first down. Maybe get a little momentum going in their way.
And C.J. Collins is going to step up into the pocket. He's going to kind of break the pocket, step into it, and that's something he hasn't had to do a whole lot of this year. He hasn't really faced a defense that can consistently blitz him. So that's going to be something he has to respond to in this game, finding his way to, throw the ball even with pressure around him instead of just, trying to escape or trying to, be able to set your feet and make a deep pass. Instead, you need to kind of set up and, take whatever you can get right now from this Langston defense.
Collins now 2 out wide stacked, and there's going to be a whistle and a timeout. Not sure who the timeout is on, or who is charged with the timeout, rather. Oh, a whistle there. They're going to reset the play clock here for Coach Tristan and this Lions offense. Now Collins now, he's going to have 2 stacked out to his left with 1 in the slot here with Roderick Brown. He's going to hand it off to Lowry. Lowry's going to plow forward and pick up enough for the first down, and then the pile gets brought down. But J.P. Lowry doing a good job. Longest run of the day here for Lowry.
and that's the impact of a big first down play, is you don't need, a 6-7 yard gain. You can just get that push up front, pick up 3 or 4 yards up to the 32-yard line. Sorry, the 27-yard line. 1st and 10. The clock will go under 2 minutes, so SAGU content to let the clock roll right now. Not wanting Langston to get a chance to get the ball back. SAGU does get the ball to start the second half.
Brown in motion. Collins rolling out to his left. He pumps, still looking for somebody. He's going to run back the other way. He doesn't have anybody that way. Collins still looking around, and he's going to finally get brought down for a big loss. Got to think he's got to throw it away in that situation.
It's one of those situations where you've broken the pocket, so go ahead and just kind of, throw it wherever you need to. Get rid of it. Instead, you're going to get thrown for a 3-yard, 4-yard loss. Back to the 23-yard line. He has nobody there. I mean, you don't blame him for not throwing it into double coverage in this situation. But that's one of those times when you have a guy on the sideline, go ahead and just set your feet, air it out, get to second down instead of 2nd and 14. But you know what? It also keeps the clock moving. And that might have been Tristan's message more than anything. Since you are pinned so deep in your own territory right now, the clock is still moving, approaching a minute to play. SAGU showing no urgency right now. Langston not using their timeouts either, though, interestingly enough.
Collins back to pass. Deep drop. He's going to roll and look for some room, but he's going to ultimately get brought down again.
Well, that's not what you needed, because now you've given Langston every incentive
Langston
to call timeout.
Back-to-back sacks for this Langston defense.
I get not throwing the ball there to try to save some clock, but on back-to-back situations, you've now dropped yourself into 3rd and a mile back at your own 13. The wind is at your back. Your last punt only netted you like 15 yards. Not at all what you need to do in this situation. Langston still has 2 timeouts remaining, up 7-3. This is probably one of the situations where you just dial up a run play, but even then, Langston's going to have solid field position, around 50 seconds left to play, or probably closer to 40-45 with a timeout left. And a chance to try to get down, try a field goal, get some late points. And like I said, I mean, yeah, I kind of get the strategy on the last play. You're only taking a loss of 4. You're keeping the clock moving. But that just kind of looked like a fruitless play from the beginning. If you're so desperate to keep the clock moving, just hand the ball off. Try to pick up 4 or 5 yards. Instead, now you have basically no chance of picking up this 3rd down. Back at the 13, the sticks are up at the 37. So this is 3rd and about 24 yards.
We'll see what the Lions try to do here on 3rd down. If they elect to maybe go with a draw, Langston's going to come out with 3 down linemen. And the safety's playing well off the ball. Collins is going to hand it off to Lowry, and Lowry, he gets cut down after a gain of maybe 2 or 3 if he's lucky, and that's going to stop the clock with the Langston timeout.
Langston.
And that's tough.
Their second timeout
when you're running against 3 down linemen and Langston is seeding the run to you, and you're still only able to pick up 3 yards, that just shows to what level Langston is winning up front right now. So yeah, 48 seconds left. Langston has a timeout left. You gotta see a better punt from Maverick Montiel here, or else Langston's going to have a chance to add to their lead at the close of the first half. A first half that can pretty much be defined by one play, and it is the fumble by SAGU.
Up 3-0. They had the momentum.
They finally found some movement at least. And while this drive won't be a 3-and-out, you will be punting from only 2 yards further from where you got the ball due to the sacks. So not technically a 3-and-out, but effectively as good of one as far as the sticks show.
Here is Montiel on to punt. See if he can get a better one off here. 48 seconds left here in the second quarter.
A false start on SAGU is going to push this 5 yards further back.
False start. Offense, 39. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Rashawn Moore gets called for the false start, and that pins the Lions back even further. And with how the wind is blowing, that is not what you want. You're just going to set Langston up with even better field position.
And Langston is showing a punt rush here. Got everybody on the line except for one guy out to the left, and obviously the return man.
Montiel in the end zone. Takes the low snap, rolling out. He's going to get the kickoff, and it's going to be another short one. It's off the side of his foot and goes out of bounds. That's going to be close to the 30-yard line, and they're going to call it the 31. And Langston is set up beautifully here in the closing seconds of the second half.
This is the 3rd time Langston will take over in SAGU territory. They have yet to get any points out of it. But with 41 seconds and a timeout, they are in good position now to change that.
The only thing going the Lions' way right now in this situation is Langston doesn't have much of a kicking game. So they're going to go touchdown or bust here as new quarterback Milton Harper is in. And he's going to roll out to his left and look to throw. There's Jordan Coleman with the instant pressure. And we see Harper throw it away. 35 seconds now left in the second quarter.
Good job of just breaking off the initial man, bringing that pressure on Harper. Yeah, and Harper just forced to get rid of it. Obviously, the last thing Langston wants to do is take a sack, have to use their last time out, and be thrown, back to the 42, 43-yard line, well out of, more convincing scoring position. Big 35 seconds here.
3 out wide to his right. Here's Harper. Man in the backfield. He's going to pump and look deep. Nobody open. Dumps it out in the flat. Off the hands of Cedric Jackson. And he had a little bit of room to run. Landon Jones, the only one in pursuit.
And Jackson has already shown his capacity to break tackles. So it looks like he's definitely clear down to around the 28. But if he makes a man miss, who knows what can happen. We've already seen him make a couple of big plays. So now 3rd and 10 at the 31-yard line.
30 seconds left here in the second quarter. If you're a SAGU fan or a player, you know your eyes are looking up at that clock, trying to get out of this first half. Only down 7-3. Here's Harper. Harper back to pass. Pocket collapsing, and he finds a man over the middle, but it's incomplete. Broken up by Landon Jones.
Looks like he was led a little bit too much, but Landon Jones leaves no doubt. And I'd be interested to see what Langston would try here at the 31. Only 24 seconds left when your defense has been so good. Whether you might try one more play. And it looks like they are going to stay on the field. They're going to keep Milton Harper. Obviously, if Jalen Lowe came out, you wouldn't know if they're going to try to punt it or not. But with Harper out there, you got to imagine they are definitely going for it here on 4th and 10. At the 31-yard line.
Can SAGU's defense come up with another big stop? Here is Harper, sends a man in motion. Back to pass is Harper. Jordan Coleman gets there and brings him down for the sack. And SAGU comes up with a huge stop. 16 seconds left on the clock, and SAGU looks like they will head into the half with maybe a little bit of momentum with that stop.
That's a huge momentum swing. Jordan Coleman with the sack. That whole drive, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. You don't give up an inch. You keep the score exactly where it is. That's the 2nd turnover on downs for Langston in the game, and the 3rd time that they have started on SAGU's end of the field and walked away with no points. So a huge stop by SAGU's defense. SAGU's offense will get the ball to start the second half, and it doesn't look like they're exactly set up in the easy kneel down situation. Maybe you're trying to draw here, see what you can get. You still do have a timeout.
SAGU has 2 timeouts. Collins now hands it off to Bickham. Bickham maybe looking to bounce it outside, gets brought down quickly, and that may do it for the half. Gets brought down by Dejon Cash.
Yeah, Cash is there in a heartbeat to throw Bickham to the ground, and that will end the first half. A defensive battle. The only Langston touchdown came courtesy of a forced fumble. So yeah, this has all been the 2 defenses going head to head. SAGU down 7-3 at the half of this critical CSFL championship game. And it'll be very interesting to see what Coach Tristan has to say to his offense, how he's going to get around this tight #1 ranked Langston defense.
We may get a little sneak peek of what he's going to say in the locker room. He is with our sideline reporter, Kristen Urban. Kristen, how's Coach Tristan feel about this defensive lockdown?
In the first half, how are you going to combat that in the second?
Well, they have a really good defense. I think it's best in the NAIA. The only problem is we had 3 holding calls, so we kind of hurt ourselves too. We just got to eliminate our penalties, and our offense is good enough to score. We just got to do it.
With the CSFL first place spot on the line, what are you going to be telling your guys at the half?
Oh, it's just like any other game. You've got to play your assignments and just play the best you can play, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's what we'll do in the second half.
Thanks, Coach Tristan, and good luck. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Kristen. There you have it from Coach Tristan. He knows exactly how this Langston defense can play, and he has done a good job all season long of adjusting for the second half to come out and play better than he has the first half. So we'll see how SAGU Lions adjust to this taut Langston defense as we head to the second half. Langston leading 7-3 in the NAIA National Game of the Week right here on the SAGU Sports Network.